You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension, a dimension of sound, a dimension of sight, a dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You've just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
Come on, Mac. Let's go. Out in the backyard. You got plenty of water, big guy. What's the matter? Something out there? Hey, maybe it's a squirrel. Nothing you can't handle. See you in the morning, big guy.
Like to sleep by myself.
I know, honey. It'll be all right, I promise. Daddy and I are in the next room.
Hey, sweetie, ready for bed?
Daddy, I want Mac.
He's outside where he belongs.
But I need him.
No, you don't. This is where you belong, in your room.
But
You're a big girl, aren't you?
Yes.
A very big girl. And big girls have their own rooms. In the morning, I'll make your favorite breakfast.
Waffles?
Waffles. For all three of us.
But it's scary in here.
Tina, honey, stop it.
Will you leave the door open?
Sure, sweetie. Plus, you have your nightlight.
Come on, Ruth.
But, Mommy...
If anything frightens you, call for me. I'll come right away.
Nothing's going to frighten her. The house is locked up tight as a drum.
But what if the bad man comes?
Oh, Tina, really?
Hey, then Mac'll get him. He's a good dog, isn't he?
Yes.
Go to sleep now.
Can I have a drink of water?
Of course. Night-night, sweetheart.
Night.
Don't let the bed bugs bite.
She's been scared of her own shadow lately.
Yeah, separation anxiety. New room and all.
Did you hear what she said? The bad man. Where did she get that?
Maybe she's onto something.
What's that supposed to mean?
Like Mac. He hears things, doesn't he?
He's a dog, Chris.
Well, kids hear things. See them, too. Oh, I remember when I was little, my sister used to tell me about the nighthawk.
The what?
That's a good question. I never did find out. But she'd say, the nighthawk's gonna get you. Kept me on my toes.
What a mean sister.
Maybe she was just looking out for me. I thought I saw all sorts of things. Face in the window, something in the yard.
You would.
Just the same, maybe there are things we can't see. Just kids and animals.
That's enough, Chris.
Like when Mac hears a squirrel or smells another dog down the street, but we can't because we don't have the senses.
Next, you're going to tell me that there is a bad man.
I didn't say that.
Now I won't sleep a wink.
That's not what I mean.
Oh, what do you mean?
Nothing. I don't know what I'm talking about.
No, you don't. Come to bed.
Sorry.
You should have been a science fiction writer. Visible world. Nice. Makes me feel all safe and secure.
I said I'm sorry.
Well, this is the real world. Remember that. I'm turning out the light.
Mommy?
Now what?
Oh, I forgot to get her a drink of water.
If you get up every time, she'll never go to sleep.
But I promised.
One time. That's it. Agreed?
Agreed.
Mommy? Daddy?
The voice of one frightened little girl. Name, Bettina Miller. Tina for short. Description, 6 years of age, average height and build. Blonde, quite pretty. Last seen being tucked into bed by her mother only a few minutes ago. Last heard, there's the rub as Hamlet puts it, for she can still be heard quite clearly, despite the curious fact that very soon she won't be seen at all, not by her father or mother or anybody else. Present location? In the next bedroom, or so it seems. At this moment, it might be more accurate to say that she's just become a resident of an unseen world called the Twilight Zone.
And now, The Twilight Zone and our story, Little Girl Lost, starring Stephen Tobolowsky, with Stacy Keach as your narrator.
Chris?
Not again.
But she sounds so scared.
Yeah.
Listen to her.
I'm going. Where are my slippers?
I don't know what's wrong now.
Yeah. I'll talk to her. One last time. All right, sweetie. Daddy's coming. Quiet, Mac! What's the matter now, Tina? Where are you? Against the wall? Here I am. Take my hand. Tina, where'd you go? Did you fall off? I'll lean down and... Not against the wall, huh? Did you roll under the bed? Take it easy, I'm here. Tina, where are you? Over here. Come on out, baby. You must have crawled under the bed. Now reach out. Reach out for my hand. What happened to you? Where in the... Hold on. I'll get the light switch.
Daddy, help me.
I'm trying, baby, but I don't see...
Chris, what is it?
I don't know.
What's the matter?
She's not here.
What do you mean she's not?
I turned on the light. I can't...
Tina? Mommy's here.
See for yourself.
This is ridiculous. Tina? Tina!
I already looked under the bed. All the way to the wall. It's clear there's nothing.
Mommy, pick me up.
I'm trying, baby. Chris? Where is she?
I don't know.
But I can hear her right in front of me.
I can't too.
It doesn't make sense. I'm looking under the bed. The floor's clear. It's absolutely empty. I don't see anything.
Honey, I don't know what to tell you.
What are we gonna do?
Quiet, Mac!
Listen, what's happening to her? Where is she?
I'm tired, Mommy. Going to sleep now.
Tina? Tina.
Hello?
Bill.
Yeah.
Bill, it's Chris.
Oh, hi. What time is it?
Can you come over?
When? Now?
I'm sorry, but it's an emergency.
What's the matter?
It's Tina.
What happened?
That's just it. I don't know.
You don't...
She's disappeared.
From the house? You mean she wandered off?
No.
Somebody took her?
She hasn't been kidnapped.
Well, then what?
I can't explain. She's here.
Is she injured?
I don't think so, but
So she's okay?
I don't know.
Let me get this straight. She's there, and she's not hurt, and
She's here, but she's not here.
I don't follow.
Bill, for God's sake, get over here. I don't know who else to call. And hurry.
She's still asleep. That's what it sounds like.
Ruth, stand up.
Shouldn't we wake her?
I called Bill.
Bill?
He's coming over. He's a physicist. Maybe he can...
What do we need a physicist for?
It's all I could think of.
Shouldn't we call 911?
And tell them what? That our daughter rolled off the bed and now we can hear her, but we can't see her.
Oh, God. Where is she, Chris? Where is she?
I'm going to look under the house.
Under the house? Why? There's no hole in the floor, is there?
Not that I could see. Oh, I better let Mac in. He's going to wake up the whole neighborhood. Sit on the edge of the bed. Wait here for me.
Get the flashlight. It's in the kitchen.
Right. Come here, boy. Mac, where are you going?
Mac! What's wrong with him?
He's after something. Like he's got a scent.
He's trying to get under the bed.
Grab him.
I can't.
Where did he go?
I don't know.
Step back. He's got to be under there. Mac, come on out, boy. Here, Mac.
He's not, is he?
Now, don't jump to conclusions.
He's with Tina.
Oh, he's here. Bill.
I got here as fast as I could.
Thanks.
What's up?
I'd tell you if I could, but you wouldn't believe it.
Try me.
I wouldn't know where to start. You better see for yourself.
See what?
They're in the bedroom. You remember Bill, honey? From work?
Ruth?
She's still asleep. Listen.
Where's your daughter? Under there?
Take a look.
I don't see anything.
Neither do we.
Do you have a flashlight?
Here.
You were right.
About what?
Don't believe it. Let's move the bed.
Bill, where is she? I'm about to lose my mind.
Well, at least she's breathing normally. So she must be okay. Take the other end.
Got it.
Wait.
It's not that heavy.
We better mark where the legs were.
Why?
Do what he says.
Anything will work. You know, those books in the corner.
Put one on the floor here and here.
I don't see.
Thanks. Now, from the front, lift.
Right. Two more under this end.
Here?
Perfect. Now, lift it away from the wall just a few feet. There. All right, now set it down.
Okay.
You can still hear it. That's her breathing?
Yes.
And these 4 books mark where the bed was.
The sound of her voice is inside the rectangle. The dog was too a while ago.
Dog?
Mac. I let him in the house and he ran straight for this spot, dove under the bed, and poof. He was gone too. But we could still hear him.
Not now, though.
Not now.
You felt the entire area?
All over, several times.
And?
Nothing.
Okay.
What are you doing?
Stepping very, very carefully into the rectangle.
Looking for...
The opening, maybe. I want to cover everything between here and the wall.
The opening to what?
I don't know yet, Ruth.
Quiet. There. Do you hear?
I hear.
You're moving as if you're afraid you're going to step on her. But there's no hole in the floor. You can see that.
Yes.
Why are you moving your hands?
To cover the air above the floor as well.
I did that.
We both did.
Well, maybe not every inch, but...
All right, take it easy. I'm almost at the wall. I don't get it.
Get what?
It's not in front of the wall. So that means it must be...
Bill! Look out!
Your hand's going into the wall.
Pull out! Pull out!
I guess I found it.
Found what?
Bill, what was that? Your whole hand disappeared into the wall.
It did. I saw it.
So did I.
This must be it.
What is?
The opening.
To where?
I'm not sure. But off the top of my head, I'd say to another dimension.
Another what?
Dimension.
You think this is a joke, Bill?
No, I don't.
Then why?
I don't know if I'm right or not. I can't think of anything else, though.
Anything else but...
Look, there are 3 dimensions that we can see. Height, width, and depth. The 4th dimension is time. Now, if you know these, you can place anything. Where something is and when exactly. Like, what time is it now? 1:12 a.m. on this particular date in this location.
Why are we talking about this?
Wait, hear him out.
There may be other dimensions as well. Science is still arguing about how real they are. But there could be doorways to these other times and places. Other realms. And some of those doorways have been verified. Have you heard of wormholes?
I don't see what all this has to do with my little girl.
Wait, I think I'm getting it. Tina must have fallen out of bed, accidentally rolled under it, and...
Gone through. Like my hand.
Did that actually happen? I couldn't believe my eyes.
One way to find out. Let's try it again and be sure.
Bill, don't.
Right about here, wasn't it? I was touching the wall to see if it was solid and...
It's happening again.
Oh, this is it. An invisible opening of some sort.
I can't see your hand.
Pull it back.
There. I'm okay.
What did it feel like?
There was no sensation. It's just that for a second, my hand was out of the visible spectrum.
Where was it?
That's what we have to figure out.
I don't care about the reason. I just want Tina back.
That's where Mac went too?
Must be. He's probably with her now.
But why?
He could have sensed it. Animals are sharper about that sort of thing than we are. He must have known she was in there and gone after her.
But we have eyes too. Why can't we see them?
Because some things may be right in front of us, but we have a blind spot.
Such as?
Do you have any change on you?
What?
Wait a minute, I do. Here's a quarter. Now, hold it out at arm's length, between your thumb and your finger. Yeah, that's it. Now, I want you to stare straight ahead at the ceiling light and move the quarter just off-center a few degrees to the right, approximately the 3 o'clock position. But don't move your eyes. Go ahead, try.
Wait a minute.
What do you see?
Nothing. I can't see the quarter anymore.
Exactly. But if you move it an inch or 2 right or left, or up or down.
There it is again.
It always was there, right in front of you, but you couldn't see it. Do you know why? Because you have a blind spot on your retina. It's a very small area where the optic nerves tie together. You'd never know it. How can you be aware of what you can't see? But whatever's there is still there, isn't it? I mean, whether you see it or not.
I never noticed that before.
You could go your whole life and never notice it, unless there was some reason to. But it's been there all along, invisible, like the quarter.
Well, now that I know where she is, I'm going after her.
No.
Don't try to stop me. She's my little girl.
We don't know what else is in there, or how far it leads.
My daughter is in there.
I know that, Ruth, but we can't just...
Why not? You put your hand in and you pulled it out twice.
We don't have enough information yet.
Tina is right in front of us, on the other side of this dimensional opening or whatever it is. All we have to do is reach in and...
If it's that simple, why hasn't Mac found her yet? If I'm right, and this is a kind of gap or blind spot, an opening to another dimension, it wouldn't be laid out the same as our world, would it, Chris?
There must be something we can do.
Listen to the man, honey.
You got a pencil? Anything to write with?
Check Tina's drawer.
Only crayons.
That'll do. A black one.
Here.
Now, let's see just how big this thing is. I'll have to mark up your wall.
Go ahead.
This is solid. And this. And this. Ooh, but not here. The same spot I touched before. All right, I'll mark it with a dot.
Take your hand out first.
Right. And all around the edges where it's still solid. There. These marks form a rough outline of the opening.
And you're saying it's always been there?
Oh my God. That's why she didn't want to sleep in here. She knew somehow. She could have fallen through at any time.
Oh, I doubt it.
Why not?
Because locations are in space and time. The fourth dimension, remember? Lord knows I'm no expert on this, but, well, it's still pretty theoretical. But for now, I can connect the dots in at least 2 of those dimensions.
So you're establishing the perimeter?
As best as I can. I suspect that junctures like this are anomalies, freaks of nature, or of the space-time continuum, if you prefer. Occurring, well, who knows how often? Rarely, though, I'd say. I hope. Now, if I take these points and extend them geometrically, and then draw lines to connect the limits, we should see the projected boundaries of our so-called doorway.
That's it? The outline?
All right, let's step back and see what we've got.
Kind of a vertical rectangle. Looks like a doorway, all right.
Not quite symmetrical, and a bit small. About 3 feet across, maybe 4 feet tall.
Exactly the size of Tina. She could have stepped through.
Do you still have that quarter?
Here.
Throw it.
What?
At the wall.
What for?
It's a test. Toss it between the lines, and we'll see what happens.
Okay, here goes. Where is it?
It went through. The quarter's in. The other place. Wherever that is.
Now what?
Well...
What are you doing?
Shh. This is where I heard her. Where the bed was. The sound was the loudest just off the floor, but now... I can't hear her anymore. Chris!
Let me try.
Put your head down as low as you can.
She's right. I can't even hear Tina's breathing. No.
Tina? Answer me, sweetheart. Where are you? Tina?
What's happened?
The temporal dimension may be shifting. In that case, she could be anywhere.
Tina! Tina!
Hold it down. You hear anything at all?
No.
She's gone.
Get up, Ruth. Move around, both of you, and keep listening.
What's the point?
It's a chance. Do it.
Psst. Over here.
That's her.
In the corner. What in the name of...
Quiet. It's getting weaker.
Where's she going now?
Tina, come back.
Keep looking for her.
But how?
Come on.
Where?
Anywhere. Try the whole house. I'll take the living room.
Tina. Tina.
What is it?
She's gone. Gone and never coming back.
We don't know that.
We don't know anything.
Come on, babe. You gotta be strong. For Tina.
In here.
Bill? What are you doing by the television set?
Put your ear next to mine.
Daddy, I want my dolly.
Tina? I'm here.
Mommy, I can't see you.
What is this? First, she was in the bedroom, now she's in here.
I've told you what I think, Chris.
But she went into this other dimension in the bedroom. What's she doing here?
If I could tell you, I would. You've got to think rationally.
How can we think rationally about an irrational situation?
One step at a time. We try every possibility. Cross off the ones that don't work.
I'm not going to wait.
Neither am I.
We can't get ahead of ourselves.
My daughter needs me. I've got to go to her somehow, some way.
Mommy? Daddy, help me. Help me now.
I've got to go to her.
I'm afraid it's not that simple.
Get out of my way.
Slow down. Let's think it through first.
We have to do something.
I know, but what?
She could be somewhere else entirely now.
Are you saying it's hopeless?
Chris, if she's beyond our world, everything's different where she is. The normal rules don't apply. The slightest movement on her part might seem, to us, to be all over the place, but she might just be turning over in her sleep.
Then what do we do?
I have an idea. Call him.
Who?
The dog. Call him. Hurry.
Mac! Here, boy!
That's it.
Here, that's a boy.
There she is. I hear her.
Where are you taking me, Mac? I don't want to go. Stop it.
Tell her to go with him.
Tina!
Mommy?
She hears you. She hears you.
Go with Mac, baby. Please, go with him.
Where are you?
Here, baby, I'm here.
Just tell her to go with the dog.
Sweetie, go with Mac. Right now, baby.
Where is he taking me?
Where we are. You want to be with Mommy and Daddy, don't you?
Yes.
Then go.
Will he take me to you?
Yes, baby, he will.
All right, Mommy. Hurry, Mac.
Let's go. The dog should go back to the place where he entered.
Yes.
Now, get down on the floor in front of the wall.
I don't hear anything.
Call the dog again.
Mac! Here, boy! Here! Nothing.
Bill, can't we help her?
It'll have to be the dog, Ruth. We can't take a chance going through ourselves.
Why not? If Mac could do it.
Mac has a better sense of smell and hearing. He might be able to find his way.
Mac! Come here! Right here! Come on!
I hear him.
He's doing it! Man! What a mutt!
They're not getting any closer.
This way, Mac! Come!
Tina?
Mommy.
I can hear him. But they're not coming through the wall.
They can't see the opening where they are.
Come to me, Mac! To me!
Daddy?
Bring her out, Mac! Now!
Daddy, where are you?
Here, baby. Right here. Just a little bit farther. Follow Mac.
I can't see you.
Mac, you better come. Right now. Why doesn't he do it?
Maybe he can't. He's confused. If you can't see him, he can't see you.
No, I won't have it.
What are you doing?
Reaching in.
Stop! Pull your arm back.
Tina! Take my hand!
No, Chris, it's too dangerous.
Let go of me! My hand, Tina! Take hold of it!
I can't see it, Daddy.
I'll lean a little further. See it now?
No.
Chris!
Here! Here!
Chris! Chris! Chris?
Yes!
You all right?
I'm okay. I got through. Can you hear me?
We hear you, pal. Don't move.
But I have to.
Don't move an inch, or you'll never find your way out.
But I'm just here, on the other side of the wall.
What do you see?
I'm not sure. It's dark. There are lights, millions of them, like stars. Some of them are flashing, moving past, and there's some kind of mist. I can't make out anything else yet.
Don't even try. Stay where you are.
I've got to find her.
Let her come to you, Chris. Call her.
Yes, call her.
Tina!
Daddy?
I can hear her. She's close.
Where are you?
Come to the sound of my voice.
I don't know which way.
I gotta help her. She can't see any more than I can.
Chris, I mean it.
Daddy, I'm scared.
Don't. Wait there for her.
I don't have a choice. She needs me. Tina!
Where are you, Daddy?
Right here.
Where?
Is Mac with you?
Yes,
Grab his collar. Can you see his collar?
I think so.
Put your fingers under it.
Mac, where are you going?
I'm coming, honey.
Chris, don't go after her.
I have to. Tina? Where did you go? Tina? Tina?
I'm over here, Daddy.
Stand still.
I don't like this place.
Don't be afraid. I'll get you out.
Where's Mommy?
Waiting for you at home. In your room. She's waiting for us. Listen to my voice. Come to me.
I don't know where you are. I can't see you, Daddy.
Where's Mac now?
Here.
Grab onto him. Hold tight. Can you do that for me?
I'm trying.
Chris!
Hurry!
Got his collar yet?
Yes.
Get a good grip now.
Okay, Daddy. But he wants to run away.
You have to stay with him. Don't let go. Mac! Bring her here. Bring her to me, Mac. Is he bringing you, Tina?
Yes,
Hold on tight, baby. Go where he wants to go.
I will.
You'll be here in a minute. Mac knows the way. Just hang on. Come on, Mac. Come on, boy.
Chris, we're running out of time.
That a boy. Here. Right here.
Can you see her yet?
I'm not sure. There's shadows moving. Yes!
Tina?
Here, boy. That's right.
Daddy, pick me up.
Take my hand. I'm right in front of you. Reach out. Little closer.
I can't see you.
I know it's hard. Just try. That's it. Closer. There. I got her!
Oh, Daddy.
Oh, baby. Baby. You're okay now.
Daddy, Daddy.
Oh, baby. I got her. I got her. Hi, Mac. You big, beautiful animal. You did it. You found me.
I want to go home.
Me too. That's where we're going. Mac, let me take your collar. Now go. Go to Tina's room. Where is it, huh? Put your arms around my neck, honey. Hold tight.
Here they are.
Tina!
Mommy.
Take her. I've got his legs. I'm pulling as hard as I can.
There. I told you you'd make it.
Oh, Chris!
How does she look?
Fine. She looks beautiful.
Mommy.
Come on, honey. Let's get you out of this room.
I better go with him.
Sit down on the bed. Get your bearings first.
Oh, man. What happened anyway?
I pulled you out.
Feet first? How did you do that?
Half of you was still here.
But I was walking around.
You only thought you were. I was holding on to you the whole time.
I didn't feel it.
I know you didn't.
How come you kept telling me to hurry?
Because
Yeah?
the opening was getting smaller.
What are you talking about?
The time element. At least that dimension was changing, or starting to. And if it had happened, we would have lost the location on both sides. For how long? I couldn't begin to guess.
The opening was shrinking?
See for yourself. solid all over, now. Including the area inside the lines. It was closing up the whole time.
You mean...
Another few seconds, and it would have finished closing, with half of you here and the other half there.
I would have been cut in two.
Yeah.
Mac? You did good, Mac. Real good. How would you like to sleep in the house from now on? Keep an eye on things. Yeah, that a boy.
Better put some boards on the wall for now, until we can figure out what happened and make sure it doesn't happen again.
Can we do that?
Well, we can try. Meanwhile, you might not want to let her sleep in here for a while.
Are you kidding? No way. Tina will never have to sleep in here again. Looks like she got her wish after all.
From the mouths of babes, huh, Chris?
From the mouths of babes. And good old boys like Mac here.
A brief journey into another dimension, perhaps. But which? The fourth? The fifth? Or one not yet charted by theoretical physics? They never came up with an answer, despite a battery of research scientists equipped with every instrument known to man. No explanation was ever found, only a little more respect and uncertainty about what can happen in the Twilight Zone. You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension, a dimension of sound, a dimension of sight, a dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You've just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
The date is Tuesday, September 11th, 1864. We are encamped outside Atlanta, and the destruction goes on. I know not what history will make of this conflagration, but I have witnessed it at close range. I feel it my duty to set down these observations before the prism of time colors them in a different light. As to the present battle, then my words may seem harsh, but I assure you, this is how it was. We charged the enemy's works and carried them with the bayonet. The earth ran red. The air was filled with the screams of the wounded and dying. But we were many, and they were few. And so we triumphed. Nonetheless, and despite urgings to the contrary, the battle raged on. The city was ours. There was no need to destroy save that which could be of use in the fight against us, but Sherman was drunk with victory. He himself started the fires, the flames which annihilated that great citadel of grace and beauty. One of us should have sent a ball into Sherman's brain. It would have been so easy. But somehow we couldn't, and that devil knew it. He knew it, and he mocked us for our cowardice. The good die young, I've heard him remark. If you're evil enough, you'll live forever. And with that, the entry from Major Skelton's diary ends. So it was that the Union soldiers burned Atlanta. Questions?
Professor Jameson?
Yes.
The books I've read don't describe the Battle of Atlanta that way.
Oh, I know. Confusing, isn't it? But as someone once said, history is bunk. Who was it now? I should know that.
Henry Ford.
Yes, of course. That's it. Mr. Ford. Thank you, Professor Kittredge. Helps when a Nobel Prize winner sits in on your class. You should drop by more often, Sam.
You seem to do quite well without me.
I could always use a good teaching assistant. So, to sum up today's lecture, the Union soldiers did indeed burn Atlanta for no good reason after the battle was won. You may have seen a more pictorial version in the motion picture Gone with the Wind, but I assure you, the conquering troops took no pleasure in their work. They were forced to it by a man they hated more than they could ever hate the rebels. An ugly, sullen, appallingly brutal general named William Tecumseh Sherman. The history books have glorified this monster, attributing to him qualities of courage and integrity. Trust me, he had no such qualities. He was just a small, evil man with tiny red eyes and a dirty beard and a way of talking that made you quietly want to slit his throat.
What a great lecture.
I really like this class.
Professor Jameson makes it so real.
I forgot to take notes.
Oh, you can borrow mine.
When's the test?
I don't know.
I think it's next Tuesday.
It has been said that universities are worlds unto themselves, inhabited by the young. These are the inhabitants of Collins University, a very small world indeed, young people hungering for knowledge, which can be imparted only by age. You have just met Walter Jameson, for 12 years the college's most popular and respected history professor. Students crowd his lecture hall and listen in fascination as he brings the dead past to life for them. It doesn't seem to matter what period of history he's discussing. He makes that period as real as this morning's headlines. Some explain this ability simply as the mark of a consummate actor. However, there are those who don't agree, like Professor Samuel Kittredge, Nobel Prize winner in chemistry, who has another, more disturbing theory about Walter Jameson, and that theory is about to be put to the test. Very soon we will find out whether our star professor received his degree from a major university or from the Twilight Zone.
And now, The Twilight Zone and our story, Long Live Walter Jameson, starring Lou Diamond Phillips, with Stacy Keach as your narrator.
Very vivid, Walter. You had me on the edge of my chair.
Thank you, Sam. Coming from you, that means a great deal.
Now I see why these lectures of yours are so popular.
Is that why you sat in today?
Partially. Tell me something, if you have a moment.
Certainly.
Who was this Major Skelton?
Oh, no one important. Just a lawyer who happened to enlist.
And you acquired his diary?
Yeah, lucky break. As I recall, an auction of Civil War memorabilia a few years back.
What regiment?
123rd Illinois Infantry.
Remarkable. American history is a hobby of mine, but I must say I've never heard of him.
His diary's never been published.
A fascinating document. May I see it?
Surely.
Well preserved.
It was stored in someone's attic for 100 years. I don't think it had ever been read. You come across objects like this once in a while, put away in boxes. They didn't know what they had.
You could resell it for a nice price, I imagine.
Original source materials are hard to come by.
Don't suppose I could borrow it?
I never lend books to absent-minded professors. Remember the last time?
Yes. I guess you're right.
Time for some coffee?
What?
I'm going past the student union on the way to my office.
Not today. I have a paper to work on for the conference. Oh, I almost forgot. Can you come by for dinner?
Whose invitation? Yours or Susanna's?
Mine, this time.
Something on your mind?
Nothing special, just your company. We have a chess game to finish, if I'm not mistaken. Say 7 o'clock?
All right, 7 it is.
Good. See you then.
Hello?
There you are.
Where else? I keep regular office hours.
I know. A chance to counsel all those co-eds. Oh, please, Mr. Jameson. I just have to talk to you. It's about my term paper.
It's Professor Jameson to you, young lady.
Excuse me, Professor.
I might have an hour this afternoon.
Then we'll have to work fast. You see, I have a bad case of writer's block. I need someone to, well, loosen me up.
You don't need me. You need a cold shower and a massage.
Speak for yourself. Daddy told me he invited you for dinner.
He did. You mind?
Not if you don't mind my getting some work done afterwards. My thesis is due in 10 days.
How's it coming?
Oh, it's coming. I'm just not sure I've said enough.
Want me to look at it?
Absolutely not. I have to know that I can do it on my own without help from you or Daddy.
You will. Don't worry about it.
I miss you.
Me too.
Only a few more days. Then we can spend more time together.
We'll paint the town red. Oh, there's my 2 o'clock. I gotta go.
Let me guess. Female, age 19, about 5'2", with eyes for her handsome professor.
Be right there. Actually, this one's a little old lady. Wants to finish her degree before she kicks the bucket.
I'll bet. See you in a few hours, darling.
It's a date.
Oh, there you are.
Come in, Janice.
I was afraid I was late. Someone else is waiting for you.
You're my only appointment this afternoon.
She asked if this was your office.
A student?
No, I don't think so. She's sort of elderly. She acted like she knew you.
Hello? Hello?
She'll probably come back.
Oh, I'm sure you're right. Now then, Janice, how can I help you?
I'm sorry to bother you, Professor, but I'm having trouble with the assignment.
Can't find all the books? The research library isn't supposed to check out certain materials, but sometimes...
It's not that. I've got everything I need, but the authors on the list, they don't agree with your version. So my question is, which version should I use, yours or theirs?
Remember what Ford said.
What?
Never mind. Start with the basic events. Everyone's in agreement there. As to interpretation, that's up to you. Just tell me what you think happened and why, based on all the accounts. Original thought is what counts.
But how can I be sure if I wasn't there?
That's always the problem, isn't it? There's an old adage. Those who were there know more than those who weren't. The problem is getting people to believe you. Nonetheless, you know what you know, so you learn to keep some things to yourself. But that doesn't affect you, Janice. We deal with truth in my class. Nothing but the truth, for better or worse. They say it can set you free.
I'll get it, Father.
Hello there, miss. I've got a great deal on a set of encyclopedias.
Sorry, we don't want any.
Just let me get my foot in the door.
Oh, really? You know what's wrong with you, Professor?
What?
You're always on time. Sort of takes the mystery out of things.
Oh, so I'm not mysterious enough for you.
That's just it. You're too mysterious. Except when it comes to keeping dates. Get in here. Mwah.
What's that for?
Because, like my new dress?
Awful. Get rid of it right away.
You mean here and now?
Watch it. You're a PhD, not some sorority girl.
And not yet, I'm not. There's a little matter of a thesis, remember?
A mere technicality. Anyway, it doesn't matter. You're about to give it all up and become a housewife.
The devil she is.
Hello, Sam. I didn't see you there.
I'm giving you my daughter's hand, not her brain.
Which I inherited from you.
She'll get that PhD if I have to...
A spanker. I know.
Well, I like that.
Spare the rod and spoil the child.
Pour yourself a drink, Walter. Dinner's almost ready.
Don't tell me you're the cook again tonight.
Indeed. And why not?
Don't you think it's about time Susanna learned for herself?
He won't let me.
Force of habit, after her mother died. Let's go into the dining room, shall we?
I'll serve.
You sure there's not something on your mind, Sam?
Nothing that a good meal won't cure. Had enough to eat?
I take it all back, Sam. She'll never be the cook you are.
I wouldn't even try.
Well, you could try. Who knows? Maybe you've inherited your father's talents.
What do you think you're doing in here?
I'll do the dishes later, unless this is the men's hour. Cigars and brandy and all that.
Not a cigar, a pipe.
It's not the dishes I'm worried about. It's a little matter of a doctoral thesis. Upstairs with you. Walter and I have some talking to do.
I don't believe this. It is the gentleman's club, right here in my own house.
Just for a while, Susie. Then you can have Walter to yourself.
You're not going to treat me this way, are you?
Worse, you might have to support me.
Then the wedding's off. Good night, Daddy. See you before you go?
It's a requirement.
Brandy?
By all means. You know, you don't have to worry about her. She'll accomplish anything she sets her mind to, with or without us.
Oh, I know that. But she's wasted a lot of time. She's almost 30, and I'm almost 70.
You're talking about chronological age. You're both still very young.
I don't feel young lately. Aches and pains. Let's sit down. The chessboard is exactly as we left it.
My move, isn't it?
Do your worst.
How about pawn to king's bishop 4?
Look at that.
You don't like it?
Not the move. Your hands.
What about them?
Extraordinary, isn't it? They looked very much the same when we met, those two hands. Firm, smooth, not the slightest discoloration.
Time marches on.
For some of us. Walter, tell me something.
Of course.
How old are you?
You know the answer. 44.
My move. I seem to recall that when you applied for a position at the university, you listed your age as 39. That was, 12 years ago, which would make you 51 now.
Come on, Sam. So I'm 51. Too old for Susanna, is that it?
In a sense.
What are you getting at?
This is between the two of us. It won't go beyond this room.
Really, Sam?
Walter, when I met you, I was 58. I had most of my hair, all of my teeth, and hardly a wrinkle. Look at me now. In 12 short years, I've turned into an old man. But you haven't.
It happens that way sometimes.
I know. But why?
Clean living? Don't ask me, Sam. You're the chemist. I'm just a history teacher.
Yes, and you teach it very well. Do you know what your students say? They say it's almost as if you witnessed history firsthand.
I try to make it interesting.
Fake it, you mean?
You could call it that.
Yes, that's what I thought. But somehow it didn't seem like you. You're such an honest, precise man. Ah, here it is.
What have you got there?
A book, a first edition. Photographs, mostly. Taken by a fellow named Matthew Brady during the time of the Civil War.
Well, what is it? You look as if you'd seen a ghost.
Perhaps I have. Hand me that magnifying glass, will you?
I don't see...
Was your grandfather in the war by any chance?
No.
In that case, I'd say we have something of a mystery on our hands.
How so?
You got me interested in your Major Skelton today.
Oh, that.
I was curious to see what he looked like. So I went through the Brady pictures, not really expecting to find anything. Here, this is a shot of Sherman and 3 staff officers.
Yes, typical of Brady's work. Moody, grim, not a smile between them.
Look closely. The one with a pistol in his belt is identified as Major Hugh Skelton. This photograph was taken in the 19th century, and yet it looks exactly like you. I'd know those eyes anywhere. In fact, Walter, I'd have to say, it is you. It is you, Walter, isn't it?
Photographs can be deceptive. Poor lighting, grainy images.
You shouldn't have kept the ring, you know. It's a dead giveaway.
Ring? It is a bit like mine.
Not like it. The same.
Sam, really, you can't be saying what I think you're saying. That wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't be rational. It wouldn't...
Come now, Walter. We're not children. You know exactly what I'm saying. I've been accused of many things in my time, but never of being inarticulate.
Oh, you're joking. Just because a man in a picture happens to look like me...
And happens to wear the same ring, and happens to have the same small mole on the left side of his face. Did you keep the pistol? Or is it in a Civil War museum somewhere?
Oh, Sam.
Tell me the truth. You know what the truth is, don't you? You are the man in the photograph, aren't you?
Yes.
I knew it. I've suspected for a long time. But, of course, it seemed so fantastic.
It is.
Yes. So, now we're on equal footing at last. The time for lies is over, Walter. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
So tell me, how old are you?
You won't believe me.
I can believe anything now.
This bust on your mantelpiece?
What about it?
It's after a Greek statue, as I recall. The head of Cato the Elder.
That's right.
Let's just say, I'm old enough to have known this gentleman personally.
But he lived more than 2,000 years ago.
I said you wouldn't believe it.
No, it isn't that, but 2,000 years? How, Walter, how?
You don't know what you're asking.
In heaven's name, this is what mankind has been dreaming of.
Sam.
To live forever. To go on learning and understanding eternally, without end, without death.
Sam.
Tell me the secret.
I can't.
You must. You owe it to the world.
I owe the world nothing but contempt and pity.
Then tell me any part of it. I'm almost 70 years old. I have a heart condition. I'm going to die, but I don't want to until I finish my life's work. Walter, listen to me. Do you understand? I'm not ready to die.
I can't tell you the secret because I don't know what it is myself.
What?
I was like you, Sam. Afraid of death. Too afraid to face the concept head on. When I thought of all the things there were to know and the pitifully few years man had to know them, I went cold with fear. And with anger, too, at the impossibility of it all. The combination was paralyzing. Every night I dreamed, as you dream, of more time, of immortality. Only if man lived forever, I thought, could there be any point to living at all. I'm thirsty. You have water?
Come in, traveler.
Thank you. You're very kind. One day, on the road, I met a man, an alchemist. I told him these things and more as I rested with him. He said that he could grant my wish. Only it would cost money. A great deal of money. So I sold everything I had and paid him his money and submitted to his experiments.
Drink this, young man. You may remain here until you recover.
I feel strange.
That will pass.
I remember very little of what followed, except that I was in a coma for many weeks. When I revived, I learned that the alchemist had been burned for blasphemy.
You're not serious? An alchemist?
The only legitimate one that I've ever known.
You're asking me to believe something that goes against everything I know.
Not without proof.
But an alchemist? I'm a man of science. They knew nothing of chemistry. Lead into gold.
Just as I thought. You won't believe it.
Smoke and mirrors. Their methods were based on superstition, magic. What did he use? Bat's blood and eye of toad?
And once upon a time, germs were unknown, and blood cells, and pasteurization, and human growth hormone, and... Sam, all those things and more would have been called magic once. It's a matter of knowing what to measure and how. Do you realize that most of today's medicines come from plants? Witch doctors discovered a long time ago that they worked, even if they couldn't explain the reason.
Don't lecture me.
All right. But you'll grant that certain phenomena exist before we know why. Science is like history in that respect. A detective story, working backwards from known facts until we understand the cause. And I'm the most undeniable of facts. Unless you can come up with another explanation.
Go on.
There isn't much more to tell, really. I thought the experiment had failed, of course, because I didn't feel any different. But then, when I saw my wife and my children and my friends aging and growing old, this was a problem I hadn't considered, you see.
But surely there's a way to get around that paradox.
Such as?
There must be.
Is there? Think about it. If I tell you that somehow I can stop you from aging, where do you want to be stopped? At 30? Then you watch everyone around you turning old. At 70? Would you want to live forever the way you are now? Sick and weak?
It's better than dying.
No, Sam. You're wrong. I was wrong. It's death that gives this world its point. We love a rose because we know it will soon be gone. Who ever loved a stone?
I'm not a rose, and I'm not a stone. I'm a man. Very old, very frightened.
Of what? Death?
Yes, of death.
You're a fool. I want to die.
Then why don't you?
Because I'm a coward. Like all men. Because I'm tired of living and scared of dying. That's why. There's a revolver in my desk at home, Sam. The same one you saw in the Civil War photograph. Every night, I hold it in my hand and pray for the courage to pull the trigger. But I can't.
You mean to say you've survived all these years without an accident, without being injured or wounded?
Some people are lucky that way. They go through life without ever breaking a bone or seeing the inside of a hospital. Oh, I've come close to death plenty of times. But never close enough.
Thank you.
For what?
For reassuring me. I thought that if a man lived forever, he would grow wiser. But that isn't true, is it?
You grow tired. That's all.
It must be lonely.
That's a word that comes to mind.
You say it as if you think it's a word I don't know anything about. I suppose you married more than once?
Yes.
How long with each woman, Walter? 10 years? 15?
I take your point.
Now you know why I attended your lecture, why I asked you here tonight. It wasn't idle curiosity.
I suspected as much. Sam, this isn't a situation of my choosing, not any longer. I tried to resign 6 months ago, but you talked me out of it. Do you remember?
Yes.
Do you know why? I knew that Susanna was falling in love with me. And I knew what would happen, because it had happened before. A few years of happiness, and then... I warned her. I did everything I could to discourage her.
Except tell her the truth.
How could I do that? She'd have thought I was mad.
Then why didn't you leave?
Because it was too late. I was in love with her. Everything was against it, all my reason and experience. But that didn't matter. And God help me, it doesn't matter now.
It does to me. Walter, I can't let you marry my daughter.
And why not?
Susie.
Well, go ahead. I asked a question, Father.
We were just having a conversation.
So I gather.
How long were you standing at the top of the stairs?
Long enough to hear that there's some sort of disagreement over me. Don't you think it would have been considerate to include me in the negotiation?
It's not a negotiation.
Please, don't misunderstand.
Your father seems to think I'm too old for you, darling.
Susanna, let me explain.
That's the silliest thing I've ever heard.
Good. In that case, you will marry me?
I thought that's already been decided. You asked, and I accepted. Unless you're having second thoughts.
Nonsense. If I had my way, we'd do it tonight.
Are you serious?
I've never been more serious in my life.
I think you mean it.
There's a justice of the peace in the next county. Go upstairs and get your prettiest dress. I'll go back to my place and pick you up in an hour.
But...
Go. Go.
Daddy?
I can't very well ground you, can I? You're of legal age.
Oh, Walter, I do love you. Though your timing is a bit of a surprise.
Life is a surprise. If we're not ready now, when will we be? Next week? Next year? We have to seize happiness when it comes, and it's here now.
1 hour, darling.
I'll tell her.
She won't believe you, Sam. No one would. In fact, by tomorrow, you won't believe it yourself.
We'll see.
Yes, we will. Yes?
I'll give you one last chance, Walter, if that's your name.
Sam, please.
The irony is, I truly like you. We've been fine friends. But when it comes to my daughter...
You deny her happiness?
Is that what you call it? People who love each other don't have secrets. They share their lives. They grow old together. Susanna's entitled to the same thing. Not a mockery of it.
You don't think this is easy for me.
There's nothing ahead for her but a broken heart, as she sees herself age while you don't. How long do you think you can keep it from her?
And if I go away, will that make her happy?
She'll suffer, but she'll get over it. You don't belong here, any more than that antique pistol in the photograph.
It's still here, in my desk drawer. And so am I. That's reality, Sam, for better or worse.
She's upstairs now, packing. If you come back, I'll expose you. Not just to her, but to the university and the world, starting tonight.
You mean it, don't you?
You don't don't leave me much choice.
Give me a few minutes. I need to think it through.
Good. If you love her, you know what to do.
Yes. I know what to do. Only, I don't know if I have the courage.
Hello, Tommy.
Who are...
You needn't stand up.
How did you get in?
You left the front door open.
Who are you?
Don't you recognize me, Tommy?
No, I don't think I...
Look hard into my eyes. You called them the most beautiful you'd ever seen once. A long time ago.
I think you've made a mistake.
No. It's you, Tommy.
My name is Jameson. Professor Jameson. And if you don't leave my house at once, I'll be forced to call campus security.
Don't pretend with me. I know who you are.
And who is that?
Tom Bowen.
Tom?
My husband.
That's impossible. I've never been married.
You mean you don't remember? How convenient for you. We married right after the Great Depression. We lost our farm to the drought. Crops died and blew away like dust. And you, still a strong, vital man. So we packed up the car and moved west. The living would be better now, you said. And it was. For a while. We had a little girl. Did you know she passed away last year, Tommy? A grown woman herself, getting on in years. It's not right to outlive your children. But me, I had to keep going. It was like I'd been waiting all these years, waiting to know where you went when you ran off. And now, I found you.
My dear lady, perhaps if you told me who you're looking for, I could...
Oh, stop. Please, stop. I saw your picture in the paper. I knew it was you by those eyes. And the ring. You always wore it. So I had to see if it was true. It is. No, Lord, look at that. I can't explain it. I only know what I see. I've grown old, and you haven't.
Don't. Please.
And now you're going to marry someone else and leave her the way you left me.
Lorette, for God's sake.
I can't let you marry her, Tommy. You're mine.
Don't touch me.
What's this?
Put the pistol down.
Oh, I remember that gun. You used to keep it locked away. Said it belonged to your great-grandfather. Take it out and oil it like you knew you were going to use it someday. Is it still loaded?
I said put it down.
Tommy, what you're doing, it's wrong. You can't go on hurting people the way you hurt me. I won't let you.
Lorette, for the love of...
What was that?
I didn't hear anything.
Are you sure? I thought...
Thought what?
I don't know.
Susanna, dear, please wait.
Don't try to stop me. I've made up my mind.
I know.
It's not like I'm going away. Walter and I will be married, and then we'll come back and I'll move my things into his house. It's only down the block. I'll still see you every day and...
Shh. I did have some things to say to you. Very important things. But now, I don't know where to start.
Please don't. I'm nervous enough as it is. Can't you be happy for me? I know it's a change, a big change, but surely you're not surprised. You must have seen it coming. I know we haven't talked much about it, but...
Do one thing for me, sweetheart.
What?
Bring me my reading glasses. I shan't be able to sleep while you're off eloping. At least I can get some reading done.
Oh, Daddy, thank you. Where did you leave them?
Upstairs in my bedroom, as I recall. Would you mind getting them for me?
Of course I will. If Walter comes to the door, tell him...
I know what to tell him. Don't expect him just yet. There's still time.
Wait right here. I'll find them.
Oh,
Excuse me, I didn't see you there.
I saw my Tommy. He's resting now.
Good evening to you, madam. Walter. Walter, where the devil are you?
Hello, Sam.
Why are all the lights off?
I was just, thinking.
The window's open.
I know.
I'll close it.
No.
What's the matter?
It's a strange feeling after all this time.
What do you mean?
I mean, I've come to my senses. Tell Susanna. Tell her if you would.
You're hurt. Turn on the light.
Stay away.
I'll call a doctor.
No.
But your hand, there's blood on it.
Hard to avoid that when you've been shot. It's dripping all over everything. I'm leaking, Sam. Everything that's been held inside for so long, it's running out. I feel light as a feather.
Take my arm. Sit down. Quickly.
A little late for that. I'm sinking, Sam. Right into the rug. It'll be quite a mess to clean up.
What's happening to you?
It's happening. At last.
Your hair. Your skin.
Sorry to fall apart on you. Oh. But nothing lasts forever. Thank God, Sam. Thank God in his wisdom.
Oh, Walter. Walter.
Tell her.
I'll try to think of something.
Don't let her see me like
Dad? Walter?
No, Susanna. Stay back.
Daddy!
Go home.
Where's Walter?
Susanna, please, go home, now.
Walter?
He's gone.
Gone where?
I wish I could tell you.
But there are his clothes, his shoes. Daddy! Daddy, what else is on the floor?
Dust, my dear. Only dust.
Professor Walter Jameson, an expert in the subject of times long past, and above all, a consummate actor, since before this university was founded. He's finally completed his life's work, a history of the world that begins in the cradle of civilization and ends in our time, because the future was not his specialty. In fact, the simple truth is he had no future left. The past has a way of catching up with us, sometimes when we least expect it. They say that time heals all wounds, but it also wounds all heals. Rest in peace, Professor. You've just passed the ultimate final examination in the Twilight Zone. You unlock this door with the key of imagination. Beyond it is another dimension, a dimension of sound, a dimension of sight, a dimension of mind. You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas. You've just crossed over into the Twilight Zone.
Looks like a storm's coming in.
A storm? Did you say a storm? Don't you mean another storm? Like the one we had yesterday, and the day before, and last week, and all month?
I'm sorry, Marie.
Sorry? Like you were yesterday, and last month, and all year, and the whole 20 years we've lived on this freezing, nothing little island?
I can't help it, Marie. I wish I could do my research somewhere else, but this place, this place, it's so special.
Special? Yeah, that's a word you could use for it. I mean, there are no trees, no TV, no stores except that little grocery store next to that shack they call a restaurant. Yes, this is really a special place.
Well, I'm sorry. I didn't know it'd take so long. I just didn't know. I wouldn't figure it out until now.
Wait a minute. Figure it out? Now? You're done? I mean, are we really done here?
Oh, I think so.
What exactly did you figure out? I mean, will it make us any money? Will you be famous? A Nobel Prize, maybe? Or a research grant?
No one can know what I've discovered, Marie. It's just too dangerous.
Oh, that is just great. I spent 20 years shivering in that stone shack you call our home, waiting for you to make your big discovery, and now you can't tell anyone about it? I think you can tell me.
There's a large granite outcrop that underlies this small island. The magnetic field beneath it has created this very unique place where remarkable things happen in this particular spot. It's the only spot on Earth where it occurs. That's why this place, it's so special. A lot of physicists and geologists have theories about it, and I found it.
What particular spot are we talking about? You mean that little sheet of rock that you point instruments at all day, every day?
In 1908 in Siberia, there was an explosion. It was equal to a small nuclear bomb. Most people assumed it was an asteroid or a comet, but a few proposed that it was a collision with a rift in the space-time continuum. Another dimension traveling through space that intersected with the Earth and created a terrifying explosion.
You want to blow up this island?
The rift in this location is shifted somehow so it doesn't explode. I mean, I've been able to observe it occur 6 times over the 20 years we've been here, and I finally figured out how to trigger the shift. That small rocky shelf is a door to the infinite number of parallel universes.
I should have listened to my father. He said you were a flake and I would never be happy. I'm going back into the house. Hey, Benny. Come here, Benny. And then I'm leaving you.
Wait. Let me show you, please. At least watch. I mean, you've waited 20 years. Don't you want to see what this is all about? I developed a handheld device that aligns the particles of the matter that fill that space a certain way. When I activate it, a shift occurs, a shift in dimensions. Now, just stand back from the rock shelf.
I don't like this.
It's not that dramatic, really. You see that small plant growing in the crack of that rock?
That's a weed, Matt.
Well, whatever. Now, just watch this. Huh? What do you think?
The weed's gone.
Pretty amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, the guys at the hardware store will sell 1 million of them. Well, maybe 47 to the other people on this island who want to zap their weeds with your gizmo.
Marie, it's not just the weed that's gone. It's everything that occupied that space. I mean, look again at that area. Notice how the raindrops and the spray from the ocean are just now wetting that circle of rock. That entire area of about 10 meters was exchanged with the matter that occupied that space in a parallel universe. Our weed and all the rock and the rainwater are now occupying that space in another dimension. And now, this matter is here to replace it. Look, I'll show you again. Sometimes the swap is a little more dramatic. It just seems that in many parallel universes, the same sort of things happen. What do you think?
Wow. You made the skeleton of a dead, rotting fish appear.
In this dimension, at least up to a few seconds ago, that fish was alive and still swimming in the sea. In a parallel dimension, it was dead. Now it's here, and the fish that was in this dimension. The same fish is now alive in a parallel universe.
Wait, you're telling me that fish isn't dead?
But it is now, in this universe. But in the other universe, I just shifted from it's alive and frolicking.
Are we alive and frolicking in another universe?
There's no way of knowing. Although it's quite possible that we are. Only things could be different in small ways or extremely dramatic ways. The possibilities are infinite, which would indicate the potential for significant change.
So, if I stood on that spot, would I disappear?
Marie, yeah, well, that's not a good idea.
Or would the Marie from the other universe show up? Oh, good God. The thought of an infinite number of copies of myself living on this island is horrifying.
It wouldn't be a good idea to stand on that spot. There's no coming back. I can shift space and cause the rift to occur, but I can't bring anyone back. It just seems to be a continual exchange of other possibilities.
I want to try.
Try what?
I want to stand on that rock, Matt, and you send me away. Maybe things will be different.
Marie, you can't. It's irreversible. There's no guarantee you'll even survive the shift.
The weed survived. You brought it from somewhere else and sent it somewhere else. You have to do this for me.
But you're not really changing anything. You're just exchanging it for something else. If you or I were to shift to another dimension, our counterparts would suddenly find themselves in this dimension. Things could be the same or very different for them. There's no way of knowing.
But who's to say we're not having this exact same conversation somewhere else right now? If there are infinite numbers of us somewhere, there's a Marie who's making the trip, and I'm the Marie who's still stuck on this island. Give me that thing. How do you work it?
No, please.
Let go of the gizmo. I'm going.
No, let's talk about this. You don't understand the consequences.
Any consequence is better than this.
Please, stop. No, let go. Benny, no. Come back here. Get away from that dead fish.
Stay there, Benny. You're coming with me. Now, give me the...
No!
Oh, my God. Where's the dog? Matt, where'd the dog go?
He's gone.
Gone where? Benny, come back here.
I don't know. I don't know. I told you. I can't control where anything goes. It just changes places.
So how come another version of the dog didn't appear?
I don't know.
I want my dog back. Benny, where did you go? What did you do with my dog? Give me that thing. I'm going after him.
Marie, wait. I'll go with you.
I want him back. I want him back.
Meet Marie Thompson, the wife of a physicist who spends his time studying infinite worlds, except the one that he shares with a woman. Her patience is worn thin by the constant erosion of wind, water, and the time she has spent on a cold and lonely island. All she wants is what life has never given her, a chance to be someone else, and somewhere else, regardless of the cost. It's a cost without a price tag, and it's on sale for a limited time from that purveyor of lost hope and endless dreams called the Twilight Zone.
And now, The Twilight Zone and our story, Another Place in Time, starring Malcolm McDowell with Stacy Keach as your narrator.
Have some tea. You're cold and wet. I'm sorry about the dog, Marie. You shouldn't have grabbed the device. We can get another dog. I mean, people do that all the time, don't they?
I'm leaving you. I'm not staying here.
Look, I don't blame you. I'll go into town and arrange the ferry, assuming there is a ferry. We're in another place in time now, Marie. Things might not be like they were. We might not even have a dog.
I'm not leaving until I find Benny.
Marie, where are you going?
I'm going to find my Benny. If he's on the island, I'm going to find him.
Mail call! Sorry, Marie, I didn't see you.
It's okay.
Well, you're not going out in that gale, are you? It's really starting to storm out there.
I have to find something.
Hello, Matt. Everything okay?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, everything's fine, Jim.
You probably should call Marie back. It's really starting to blow out there.
Yeah, well, good idea. Jim, let me ask you something. Have you seen a dog?
Oh, you mean Benny?
You know Benny?
Well, yeah.
Oh, have you seen him?
No. Well, I figured he'd be inside here with you folks.
Marie, you found him.
Yeah. He was running across the meadow. I called him, and he came running. He knows me. He actually knows me.
Oh, that's great, Marie. I can't explain it, but that's great.
Oh, Benny. Oh, look, Matt. Remember when that wolf bit his ear and tore it up? It's all better.
Wolves?
Yeah. Benny got cornered by a wolf and got a bit of a fright a while back. His ear was almost torn off, but it looks like it healed real well.
Matt, I've lived on this island for 62 years. I've never heard anyone talk about seeing a wolf.
Really? Well, that's great. Did you hear that, Benny? No more wolves to worry about.
It probably wasn't a wolf. Must have been another dog or something.
Yeah, I guess. Although I was always under the impression Benny was the only dog on the island. Well, look, you folks take care of yourselves.
Well, we'll see you later, huh?
Yeah, bye.
Yeah, bye.
Such a good dog. Good dog.
You know, we should probably do more listening than talking until we get used to what's going on in this dimension.
It worked, didn't it? I mean, it really worked. This is the best news I've had in a long time. You have fun here on your little island. You do whatever you want. I'm leaving.
Yeah, I know. I'll get into town when the storm calms down and arrange the ferry to the mainland.
Ferry? Hell with the ferry. Benny and I are going to take another little trip with your gizmo. His ear is all better, but look at this stone shack. Look, Matt, nice job on the dog's ear. Now let's keep this thing going. It's progress. You are aware of the word progress, aren't you?
I'll set you up on the ferry, and we can pack you up whenever you want.
Pack? What would I pack? Look at this collection of junk. I don't want a thing from this rock hut. It's all yours. Now get the gizmo and get me and Benny out of here.
Well, I'm going with you.
Oh, really? What's the problem? You looking for something better for yourself?
Marie, I have to go with you. If you shift into a new dimension and it's a terrible place, you'll be trapped. The interface, the device, the gizmo, it's not easy to operate, but oh God, this is all wrong.
Is that so, Mr. Wright? Well, you don't have to go if you don't want, does he, Benny?
Marie, this isn't fair to either of us. I mean, not us here, but the Matt and Marie living in another dimension. I mean, when we shift to another dimension, we change places with them. There are versions of ourselves suddenly thrust into a different place and time that we wouldn't necessarily understand.
Now let's get going.
Now? You want to go now? In this storm?
Well, why don't you pick us a day with nice weather?
I can't pick anything. It just happens.
I've been waiting my entire adult life for this, and I'm not stopping now. Ready when you are, Matt. You are going to join us on this little rock stage, aren't you? Matt! What are you waiting for? Get over here and let's get out of this storm! Grab hold of the dog and just do it!
Fine, but we can't keep doing this, you know.
Oh my! Nicely done, Matt. 5 sunny days a year on this island, and you found a perfect one.
This isn't about the weather. Marie, go slow. Ask questions, or better yet, just listen a bit.
Listen? Okay, I'm listening. Oh no. Oh, don't tell me. Matt. Oh, Matt, not good. Not good at all. Glad you're here. We've got to go.
What's the matter? What do you see?
Hello? Are we listening? It's a baby crying. You know, maybe you're not so good at this shifting thing after all. I mean, it's coming from our house. Our same crummy little rock house, and now there's a baby inside of it. I told you long ago, no kids.
Marie, that baby's parents, they're us. A version of us from this dimension who have suddenly found themselves in the place and time we just came from, only without their baby. I mean, think what we've done. That baby's parents are back in that storm we just left without their child. Do you realize what we're doing to people, ourselves? In an instant, they're in another place and their child is gone forever. Another version of ourselves will show up here. And what are they going to think?
Oh, get over it. We're doing it to ourselves. No one's getting hurt except us, so what's the problem? Matt, grab the dog and set that thing, however you do it.
This isn't right.
Matt, shut up and get us out of here. Rain. Perfect. What happened to the sun?
God, this has to stop.
Okay. Let's go take the break that you wanted. There's the shack waiting for us. Come on, Benny.
All right, Marie, this is it. This is the last shift we make.
Oh, really? Oh, no. This is the worst. Look at this place. It's a shambles.
It looks abandoned. No one's lived here for some time.
You mean we haven't lived here for some time? Well, what do you know? Somewhere there's a version of us that finally came to their senses and got off this island.
I guess so. I wonder where we went.
Oh, please, please, make it London, Paris, anywhere but here.
I don't think there's anything to eat here. I found a tin of tea. Let me get a little fire started and we'll see if we can improvise a place to sleep.
We're sleeping here?
We're staying here, at least I am. You said you were leaving and I'm not stopping you. The wood-burning stove still looks pretty good. It'll be warmer in a minute.
How long do you think we've been gone from here?
I'd say a couple of years, maybe more. Hard to tell.
So if you're staying here, it's going to really confuse a lot of people if I show up in London and you're not around.
If that's all you care about. Well, that fire's going good. We'll at least be warm. Now I'm gonna see if I can find some water to make some of this tea.
I'll be here, unfortunately.
Matt! Is that you?
Hello? Yes. Hello there, Jim.
You know, I never thought I'd see you here again. Especially after what happened.
Yeah, right. Well, we thought we'd come back, for a visit.
We? You're not here with Marie, are you?
Marie? No. The dog. I came back with the dog.
So, do you visit Marie at all?
Yeah, I visit her, yeah. I saw her not too long ago.
Do they still have her in solitary confinement, or have they let her into the general prison population?
Prison?
What's that?
Yeah, she's still in prison.
I'm surprised you visit her at all. I mean, any mother who would kill her own baby. But then, well, she obviously needed psychiatric care. Look, I'm sorry to even bring it up. I just didn't figure you'd ever want to come back to this place after what happened here.
I guess I just wanted to get some closure.
Looks like you've got a fire going in your old house.
I'm kind of cold. I'll come into town and see you tomorrow, okay?
Sure. You take care of yourself.
Find your water?
Marie, we have to get out of here now.
Well, listen to you, Mr. I'm not leaving. Just when it's starting to get warm in here, you want to go back out in the rain?
Marie, you're supposed to be in prison. In this universe, in this place and time, you killed a baby and are in prison. Marie, how could you?
You've got to be kidding me. I didn't do it. It was someone else.
We're leaving right now. We have to find a different dimension. Grab the dog and let's go. I never should have listened to you. We have to find a dimension when we're not in jail, where an innocent baby won't be in danger. And then, this is it. It's over.
Over for you, maybe, but not for me.
Don't you get it? This is why no one can know about this. What if everyone decided to do what you're doing? You can't go shopping for the perfect life someone else worked so hard to achieve.
Perfect life? Is that what you call the life we were living? Now activate that thing.
This has to end.
You get it right next time and it'll end. Ah, that's better. You're getting good at this. At least the weather part. Wait. Damn it, Matt! Now you've done it, I can't believe this! Damn you, Matt! Where's the dog?
I thought, I thought you had him.
We have to go back and get the dog.
We can't go back, I've told you. There are infinite possibilities. We'll never find the same dimension. Only different ones.
Then you're just going to have to find us a dimension where I have my dog again. Oh, but look. Look at our house. It's enormous. It almost looks like a small castle. Let's go see it. Maybe the dog's in there. Benny? Are you here, boy?
Is he here?
I don't know, but... Hey, congratulations! The house is amazing! I never thought stone walls could look so good. Matt, we must be rich. Maybe you did sell your invention.
Marie, this stops here. I'm going to destroy the device.
Why? Don't you get it? Haven't you been paying attention to your own words? If everything in all of these dimensions are so much the same, who's to say there aren't other versions of you using your little gizmo to do exactly what we're doing? The only thing is, we're going to be without one, because you got a little problem. Here we finally get to a place where things are like I want them to be, and poof! We're gone because we traded places with another version of me and you because they have the gizmo and we don't.
I can only hope that if I make this decision now, there are other versions of me in other dimensions making the same decision.
Fine. Destroy the stupid thing, but not until I have my dog back. You've taken everything away from me with your little lifetime of research. I finally got the house right, and now I want my dog.
You should hide. For all we know, you might still be in jail.
Don't you wish? Fine. I'll hide in one of the rooms. Look at all the rooms. Which one?
Coming! Marie, go now.
I'm going.
Afternoon, Matt. Mail call.
Hello. Hi, Jim. Oh, thanks.
Why, Matt? You're not in uniform. That's quite a risk, you know.
Right. My uniform. I spilled something on it, and Marie or someone's cleaning it.
Marie's actually cleaning your uniform? I wouldn't have expected that. At least not with all the servants you have. I mean, well, you know what I mean. Why, hello, Marie.
Jim, it's so nice to see you. I overheard you and Matt talking. Here's your uniform, Matt. I forgot we had another one hanging in the closet.
Yes. Why, thank you, Marie. Good God. What is that on the arm? Is that a swastika?
Yeah, I guess. Yep, that's what it is, all right.
Oh, I can't believe it. A swastika? I mean, this is nuts.
Whoa! Be careful there, Matt. People don't take kindly to any disrespect for the Reich.
Reich?
Look, I'd best be going. You know, I saw your dog running around over by the base. I figured the Commandant might not take kindly to that, so I got your dog tied up outside.
Benny? Matt, he remembers me. It's Benny. It's my Benny, and his ear is all fine, and the weather is fine, and this house is just fine, and I have never been so happy.
Jim, thanks for bringing the dog back. I have to, get into uniform and head over to the base.
Right. I'll see you tomorrow.
You did it. Matt, you did it.
Marie, God, it's a Nazi uniform. It has a swastika on it. Don't you see what this means? It means the Nazis won the war.
Well, maybe they're not bad anymore. It's been a while since the war. I mean, come on. We got it all going here. Give it a few days.
No. Out of the question. This is madness.
Well, just listen to you. You can't wait to give it another go. Just remember to program your little gizmo for perfect house, beautiful weather, nice dog, no babies, and just for you, no Nazis. Oh, and can you make the house a little bigger next time? I mean, why not?
Matt!
What?
Is this a cruel joke? We're right back where we started! Matt! Where are you going?
I'm going inside.
Well, at least someone had a fire going. But as for everything else, still the same.
I'm tired. I want to rest. We're staying.
We're staying? Are you sure? I mean, how do you know there aren't any Nazis here? Plus, we're poor, and the weather is horrible, and I'm living in a hut.
I'm gonna lay down. I'm tired. I'm not going anywhere except to bed.
You do that. You go lay down and dream about your world without Nazis. I still have my dream, and tomorrow we're going to go find it.
I'm resetting the device. Tomorrow I'm pushing the button and throwing the device onto the rock platform and sending it into another dimension. It'll be gone for good, and this game will be done. This is over. Good night.
Good night, Matt. Yeah, you have your good night. I'm gonna sit here and try to pretend I'm living in a castle with a man who's amounted to something. That's okay, Benny. That's okay. Mummy will fix it. You'll see. You see that gizmo sitting on the kitchen table there? That crummy old wooden wobbly kitchen table? That gizmo is going to take us somewhere special tonight, Benny. He's already set it up for us. All we have to do is stand on the rock ledge and press the button. And when we get back to the castle, you'll have your own room. And we'll take long walks in the sun, and Mummy will have a new version of her husband. You watch, Benny. Mummy will make it all better. Are you ready? Shh! Don't wake up Daddy. We have a big surprise for him. A new Marie just for him. I'll just take our little gizmo here and... Come on. Quiet. Let's go. Benny! Get over here! Mommy's going to push the button and we're going to the castle! Are you ready? Here we go! Benny! Benny! Come back here! Damn dog!
Hello? Hello there!
Hello, Matt. I decided to go for a little walk.
Oh, it's a nice day for a walk.
And by the way, what a lovely house we have. And a garden.
Well, thank you.
Oh, Benny! 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 Come here, you good dog, you. Now, Benny, is that any way to say hello to Mummy?
Here, heel boy. That's a good dog, Scout.
Scout? His name is Scout? Oh, that won't do at all. He's going to have to get used to Benny.
Oh, I'm sorry, but, do I know you?
Look, I know you're Matt. I have been a bit of a chore for the last day or two. Or was it 3? Heck, I don't even know if we're supposed to call them days. I mean, what are they anyway?
Excuse me, but, what are you talking about?
Well, I guess it's my turn to do all the explaining.
Matt?
We're over here. I'm talking to someone.
Oh, Matt? Who is that in my garden?
That's my wife, Angela.
Huh?
Sorry, I didn't catch your name.
It's Marie, Matt. Ring a bell?
Marie who?
Marie White Thompson? Your wife? We met in high school, went to college together, and got married right before we moved to this, or at least a version of this island.
Well, I only knew one Marie in high school, but we didn't go to college together.
Yes, we did. Matt, it's me, Marie. Remember? Your high school sweetheart.
What are you, an identity thief?
So you remember?
Well, the last thing I remember about Marie was her wake and her funeral. I just met her in high school. 3 days later, she was hit by a car and killed.
What do you mean she was killed?
Look, if you stole her identity, I'm calling the police.
I'm not dead, you idiot!
Hey, I don't know what you're trying to pull here.
Matt?
Hi, Angela. Look, this woman says she's someone I knew in high school who's dead.
Oh.
Angela. That's your name? Angela? So she's the best you could do? Hey, nice garden, Angela, but I've got news for you. He's no find.
Matt, let's go back to the house,
Oh, that's great. Matt, you can't get anything right even when you're not here. Benny, stop it!
Whoever you are, I'm calling the police.
Go ahead and call the police, you moron. I'm getting out of here. And goodbye, Miss Perfect Little Gardener Wife. Benny, get over here. Oh, forget it, dog. Stay here with these lovebirds. I'll find a new version of you in the next dimension.
I think she's crazy.
Crazy? Watch this, sweetheart. Matt, get over here!
Matt, don't go near her. She's not acting right.
Right's not the word for it.
Matt! You programmed this thing before you went to bed. What did you do? I can't get it to work.
Angela, go back to the house, call the constables. She sounds dangerous.
Would you get over here and fix this thing? It's every version of you an idiot! You can't leave me here! This isn't how it's supposed to be! Things were supposed to be better! I can't get the thing to work!
I don't know where she came from. I saw Matt talking to someone and went out to say hello, and she just started talking and acting very strange. Do you think she's crazy?
There's nothing she was saying or doing that any sane person would do. We got her on a boat to Liverpool. I'm pretty sure they'll commit her. I don't think you have to worry about her anymore. You folks have a good day.
I feel so sorry for that woman. Did she say she knew you?
Yes, well, used the name of a girl I met briefly in high school, but she's long dead. Funny thing, though, for a split second, I thought she actually kind of looked like her. Older, but just a slight resemblance. Until she started acting nuts, and I just wanted to get away.
She sure held on to the rock.
Oh, that's the other thing. She kept saying stuff about another dimension and parallel universes or what, I don't know.
That sounds like how you used to talk when we first got here.
Yes, but there's nothing to it. I've been all over this island and all the theories about it aren't true. But I never did study the shoreline.
Maybe it's worth a look.
Yeah. Maybe I'll get the old instruments out tomorrow and point them at that rock.
And I'll paint a picture of you holding this.
What's that?
It's that thing she was holding. She called it a gizmo. I meant to give it to the constable. I'll give it to him tomorrow.
Oh, well, that's actually a very sophisticated little device. Maybe I'll take it apart first. All the police are going to do with this is put it in a box and then probably sell it at an auction.
Do you think it's worth something? I mean, should we offer to pay for it?
Technically, it's her property. We should give it back to her, but I want to study it a bit first. She won't need it where she's going. Oh, hello. Here looks like another storm coming.
That's no surprise. Let's get inside.
Yeah, good idea. And then maybe tomorrow we'll see what that rock and this gizmo is all about.
Is it possible we all live in multiple dimensions? One woman knows for sure. A woman on a mission who has found her destination. A destination not made of dreams, but a nightmare of her own creation in a universe that doesn't know her name. A nightmare that could only take place in that unique dimension known as the Twilight Zone. You're traveling through another dimension. A dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind. A journey into a wondrous land whose boundaries are those of imagination. Your next stop, The Twilight Zone.
One old-fashioned, one Scotch rocks, a whiskey sour, and a B&B.
Which table?
Number 3.
Miller, Jackson, and Whitaker, right?
That's right, the usual.
Got it.
Oh, and make the Scotch a double.
For Mr. Jackson.
You're learning.
Old man Jackson. Bet he was here before I was born.
As was I.
No offense, William.
None taken.
Who's the whiskey sour for?
Mr. Corrigan has joined them again this evening.
I wonder why.
I expect he wants to learn from the past.
Yeah, but that's all those old guys talk about. The past. He ought to join another club. Someplace that's co-ed at least.
There's no substitute for experience, Daniel. None whatsoever. If you want to learn the ropes, so to speak.
I hear that. Here you go. Shall I run a tab?
Table 3 always runs a tab.
Gotcha.
Bring me another bourbon, will you please, William?
Certainly, sir.
Oh, and some peanuts to go with that.
Yes, sir.
Well, that trumps me. No more cards, gentlemen. You've picked my pockets again.
We play by the honor system, Corrigan. You know you have a line of credit with us.
No, not tonight. Unless you care to let me make that last bid over again.
You don't think that would change anything, do you, Peter? We had you on the ropes 10 minutes ago.
Yes, but if I bid spades instead of hearts...
Wouldn't have made a bit of difference. Trust me, boy.
I do trust you, Mr. Jackson. It was my error. No doubt about that.
You have a point, though. One small detail, a jog to the left instead of the right, say, and things might turn out quite differently.
So true.
Just put the drinks down over there, would you, William?
Of course.
So you're saying?
He's saying that life turns on the finest of points, and I must say I agree.
In a game of cards, yes, but...
Will there be anything else?
Not just now, William.
Very good, sir.
What exactly are you getting at?
Oh, we've all seen it time and again. One vote more or less on the floor, a scandal that might have been avoided, and our current political standings would be quite different. It's a matter of choices as well as luck.
Let's say, Corrigan, that you go back in time.
Yes, and if that were possible, there'd be nothing to stop me from altering the course of history. Is that it?
Imagine this. It's October 1929. The day before the stock market crashed.
If only my grandfather had known about that one.
You know that on the following morning, the securities are going to tumble into an abyss.
And how would I know?
Because you carry with you the knowledge of the present, of what's to come.
Of course.
Of course.
Now, using that prior knowledge, there are 100 things you can do to protect yourself.
But following your logic, I'd be anachronism. They'd spot me right away, probably lock me up, because I don't really belong back there. My clothes, my speech.
It doesn't matter. You'd find a way to pass. The important thing is, once you were there, you could sell your holdings the day before the crash.
As my grandfather should have.
All right, but what if I did, and that very act started the crash a day earlier?
He does have a point.
Though even that's unlikely.
How so?
Hear me out. History tells us that on October 24th, 1929, the bottom dropped out of the stock market. That's a fixed date. October 24th, 1929. It already exists as an event in the history of the 20th century, in our own past. The forces that made us as we are. Ergo, by definition, it can't be altered, not by those of us who are products of those very events. You see?
And I say it can. What's to prevent it?
What would be the mechanism to make it occur? A time machine? Some technology that hasn't been invented yet?
What's the mechanism for human life? Birth and death? Do we understand that? No. But it's real, I assure you.
Jackson's right. What's to prevent me, say, from going to a broker on the morning of October 23rd or October 22nd?
Why go back that far? Yesterday would do nicely. Go to the racetrack with a list of winning horses.
That would be entirely for personal gain. A matter of manipulating numbers. When you're dealing with matters of life and death...
Why else go back to 1929 then? Unless you can think of a reason other than money.
Well, there was a certain little flapper named Louise Brooks.
Well, that was before even your time, Walter.
Alas.
Witness a theoretical argument at the very private Potomac Club in Washington, D.C. The club was founded in 1858, but the argument is occurring in the present between four intelligent men. They're talking about an improbable thing, whether it's possible to go back in time. A friendly debate after a game of cards revolving around a simple issue. Could a human being actually change what has happened before? Interesting and theoretical, because who ever heard of a man going back in time? Until tonight, that is. Because the Potomac Club just happens to be situated not only in Washington, D.C., but somewhere near the edges of the Twilight Zone.
And now, back to our story from the Twilight Zone. Back There, starring Jim Caviezel, with Stacy Keach as your narrator.
There can be no such device according to science.
Don't be so sure. The answer may lie within, rather than from a deus ex machina. Ever hear of black ops?
I've heard of men in black.
Same thing. There's secret funding going on right now, strictly off the books, you understand, to project the minds of CIA agents to other locations. Now, if they can do that, using only brainwaves...
Who says they can do that?
Gentlemen, we've strayed from the subject. The topic is the paradox of time travel.
Oh, we don't even know if it exists.
Care to place a friendly wager on that? Thousands of people disappear every year into thin air. Poof.
Who can say where they go? Maybe they found another place to go. Someplace where they're needed.
What?
Someplace where their talents are useful.
You all right, my boy?
Yes. I just felt a bit dizzy there.
Happens to me too. Not enough sleep.
I say where they can make a genuine contribution. I fear that some of us were born too early or too late.
My feelings as well. A man named Charles Fort once said...
What time's it getting to be?
Coming up on 7 o'clock, I should think. What does your watch say?
Closer to 8, actually. Gentlemen, I'm afraid I'll have to leave the subject of time travel to you and H.G. Wells. I'm much too tired to get any more metaphysical than that. And since nobody has ever gone back in time...
Care to place a friendly wager?
Then the whole blame thing is much too theoretical, as far as I'm concerned. See you over the weekend?
If you don't get lost back there, Peter.
Where?
Why, in time, of course.
I'll try not to. Good evening, everybody.
Leaving, Mr. Corrigan?
That's right, William. Good night.
Oh, I'm desperately sorry, sir. I've spilled coffee on your sleeve.
No harm, William. No harm at all.
Oh, that was clumsy of me.
I think I shall survive. I really do.
Let me wipe your jacket.
No need, honestly. I'll see you tomorrow.
Did you have a coat with you, sir?
No, I'm rushing the season a little tonight, William. I felt spring in the air. Came out like this.
Well, April is spring, sir.
It's getting there. What is the date?
April 14th, Mr. Corrigan.
April 14th already? And the year?
I beg your pardon, sir?
I'm just kidding, William. I know what year it is.
Of course, sir.
Well, good night, William. Take care of yourself.
I'll do my best, sir.
Taxi, mister?
No, thanks. I think I'll just walk.
Okay, Mac.
What? What is wrong with me? My head?
Who is it? What do you want?
I need to sit down for a moment. I don't feel well.
And you are?
Peter Corrigan, a guest of Mr. Jackson.
Mr. Jackson?
I was just inside.
No, you were not.
Of course I was.
We are closed this evening.
This is the Potomac Club, isn't it?
It is.
Then let me in. I left something inside.
Now see here, you. The club is closed.
But I just left here a minute ago.
The devil you did. Are you drunk, young man? Is that it?
I am not drunk. I want to see Mr. Jackson.
There is no Mr. Jackson here.
Or Whitaker, or Millard, or William. Let me talk to William. Where is he?
William who?
I don't know his last name. William, what's the matter with you? Where did you come from? And what's the idea of those clothes you're wearing?
As good as your clothes, sir. Now be gone with you.
Hey, come on, open up!
You best get away from here. I'll call the police. Go on. Get out of here.
Carriage, sir.
Carriage? Since when are there carriages in Washington?
Why, since always, sir. May I take you somewhere?
Get away from me. I'll go home. That's it. And sleep it off. I'll go home.
All right. Have a bit of patience. I'm coming. Yes?
Sorry, my key didn't work.
Your key?
Oh, no. Who are you, may I ask?
Mrs. Landers, the landlady.
You're the landlady?
And you, sir?
Is this 19 West 12th Street?
That's right. Whom did you wish to see?
To see?
Which one of our guests, young man?
I used to live here. It's the oldest building in this section of town. I was just wondering if...
How's that?
What I mean is, as I remember it, it was the oldest...
Well, now, really, I can't spend the whole evening standing here talking about silly things like which is the oldest building. If there's nothing else...
Then, do you have a room?
I have, for acceptable boarders. Do you come from around here?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Army veteran?
Yes. As a matter of fact, I am.
Well, come in. I'll show you what I have. Your coat.
What?
Your long coat and your hat. You may leave them by the door.
Of course, I'm not used to it.
Used to what?
The hat. I don't wear a hat very often.
May I inquire as to your business?
I'm an engineer.
Really? A professional man? Well, come upstairs and I'll show you the room.
Not the one on the second floor by any chance at the end of the hall?
Why, yes. How would you know that?
Well, I've heard good reports about your establishment.
I'm planning to repaint it soon.
Oh, don't do that.
I beg your pardon?
Well, I mean, I'd like to see it in its original colors before it is remodeled.
Well, I suppose it will do for a while longer.
I'm sure it's fine.
Off to the play?
That's right, Mrs. Landers.
Dinner at the Willard and then to the play if my husband finds a cab in time.
Well, enjoy yourselves and applaud the president for me.
We'll certainly do that.
Good night, Mrs. Landers.
Good night, my dear. Have a good time. This way, Mr. Corrigan.
What did you say?
What did I say? To whom? When?
To the gentleman in uniform. What did you just say to him?
Now what's the trouble?
You just said something to him about the president.
She told me to applaud him. Where might your sympathies lie?
Yes, young man. Which army were you in?
The Army of the Republic, of course.
Then why make such an issue of applauding President Lincoln? That's his due, is it not?
That and everything else. May the good Lord bless him.
You're going to the play tonight?
We hope to, if my husband stops dawdling.
What theater? What play?
Ford's Theater, of course.
Ford's Theater. Ford's Theater.
Are you all right? I mean, do you feel well, sir?
What's the name of the play?
I beg your pardon?
The play, the one that you're going to see at Ford's Theater. What's the name of it?
Why, it's called Our American Cousin.
And it's April 14th, isn't it? April 14th, 1865. Our American Cousin. And Lincoln's going to be there.
Indeed he is.
Get out of my way.
Really, sir? I'd call your actions most strange.
Where are you going?
I have to stop it. Is this Ford's Theater?
It is. And who might you be?
It doesn't matter. You have to let me in.
Are you the new understudy?
No, I need to get a message to...
Now, you just give me your message and I'll pass it along.
You don't understand. This is a matter of life and death.
I'm sure it is, but only the cast can get through this door.
I'm sorry, I misspoke. You see, I am the new understudy.
Name?
Peter Corrigan, but you won't find it on the list. I'm a last-minute replacement.
Sure. Now, why don't you just tell me your message and I'll see to it then.
Let me in before it's too late.
You stay back.
I have to get through. President Lincoln is going to be shot tonight.
Oh, President Lincoln, is it? Be gone with you now before I call the police.
You've got to warn him. Tell everybody or the president is going to die.
You shut your lying mouth about the president.
It's going to happen unless you tell the guards.
There. That'll hold you. Now somebody call the police and get this lunatic out of here.
Next.
This one was drunken vagrant, sir.
You again. Hello, Malloy.
Hello, Sergeant. A pleasant evening to you.
Whereabouts?
Right outside the Capitol, sir. Plain as you like. Ready to camp out, it looked like.
That's true, Mr. Malloy.
Oh, just for a few hours it was. Such a nice big lawn they have. I'm sure Mrs. Lincoln wouldn't mind none.
That's the First Lady to you. Let him sleep it off. I can smell it on his breath.
Oh, you needn't trouble yourself. I can sleep out just fine on a spring night like this. The moon and the stars. If certain people would mind their own business.
Come along.
Next.
This one, sir.
A fancy Dan with too much money in his pockets, huh? What's he done?
Nothing except trying to save the country from grief.
You best hold your tongue.
I demand you let me out of here right now.
The sergeant told you to...
While you two idiots are arguing, you're gonna lose a president.
He's got a mouth on him, doesn't he?
That's what he's been yelling all the way over to the station. And that's what the doorman at Ford's Theater popped him on the head for. Tried to pound his way right through the stage door, yelling some kind of crazy things about President Lincoln going to get shot.
He will be shot tonight in the theater. A man named Booth.
And how would you be knowing this?
Never mind. I'm telling you the truth. Now, will you stop wasting time and do something about it?
I suppose you've been to one of them seances, some kind of seer or wizard or something with all the fashion these days. Stuff and nonsense, if you ask me.
I only know what I know. If I told you how I know, you wouldn't believe me.
So, you don't want to answer the question?
Look, keep me here if you like. Lock me up, but do something.
Good idea. Turnkey, let this one sleep it off too.
Come along. This way.
You boobs had better hear me out! Somebody get to the president's box at the Ford Theater! Either keep him out of there, or put a cordon of men around him! A man named John Wilkes Booth is going to assassinate him tonight!
Evening, sir. Can I help you?
My card. The name is Wellington, Sergeant. Jonathan Wellington.
Well, what can I do for you, Mr. Wellington?
That man you just had incarcerated, Mr. Corrigan, I believe he said his name was?
Drunk, sir. That's probably what he is.
Drunk or perhaps ill. I wonder if he could be remanded in my custody. He might well be a war veteran. If so, I'd hate to see him placed in jail.
Well, that's real decent of you, Mr. Wellington.
The least I could do for one of our own. A survivor of the Great Conflagration.
You say you want him remanded in your custody?
Precisely. I'll be fully responsible.
Fully?
I think perhaps I might be able to help him. I myself am a veteran, you see. I know the torment that lives on in a man's soul after returning to civilian life. It is a horror, not easily laid to rest.
All right, sir, if that's what you like. But I'd be careful of this one if I was you. There's a mighty bunch of crackpots running the streets these days, and many of them his-like. Many of them dangerous, too, sir.
I must accept that risk.
Turnkey, have Corrigan brought back out here. This gentleman's going to look after him. It's real decent of you, sir. Real decent indeed.
I'll be outside. Have him brought out to me, if you would.
I will indeed, sir. Next?
Begging your pardon, Sergeant.
What is it?
About that Corrigan, sir.
What about him?
Well, wouldn't it be wise, sir, if...
If what?
Well, he seems so positive, sir. So sure. About the president, I mean.
What would you have us do? Send all available police to the Ford Theater? And on what authority? On the word of some demented fool who probably left his mind someplace back in Gettysburg.
I only thought...
If I was you, mister, I'd be considerably more thoughtful at sizing up situations. You'll not advance 1/2 grade the next 20 years. Now be good enough to stand aside and let me get on with my work.
Sergeant, it wouldn't hurt.
It wouldn't hurt if what?
I was going to suggest, sir, that if perhaps we placed an extra guard in the box with the president.
The president has all the guards he needs. He's got the whole federal army at his disposal, and if they're satisfied with the arrangements for his protection, then I am too, and so should you be. Next.
Take this glass of wine. It'll help you relax.
Thank you.
Feel better?
One question.
Yes?
Who are you?
At the moment, I'm your benefactor, and apparently your only friend. Turkish cigarette?
I don't smoke. Why did you take me out of the police station?
I'm in the government service. But as a young man in college, I dabbled in medicine of a sort.
Medicine?
Medicine of the mind.
A psychiatrist.
What?
Or what were they called before that? An alienist.
I don't know either term. But your symptoms do interest me.
What symptoms?
The story you were telling about the president being assassinated.
What time is it?
7:45. The play won't start for another 45 minutes. This time...
Precious little.
What gave you the idea that the president would be assassinated?
I happen to know, that's all.
You have a premonition?
I have a lot more than a premonition. Lincoln will be assassinated, and the course of history will be changed. Unless somebody tries to prevent it.
I agree that such an event would change history. And very dramatically. As would an event that does not happen. That, too, can change the world.
Then do something.
Very well. I shall try to prevent it, if you can convince me that you're neither drunk nor insane.
If I told you what I was, you'd be convinced I am insane. So all I'm going to tell you is that I happen to know for a fact that a man named John Wilkes Booth will shoot President Lincoln with a pistol in Ford's Theater. I don't know what time it's going to happen. That's something I forgot, but...
Something you forgot?
Listen. Please.
What's the matter?
I think I better sit down.
Take my handkerchief. That bruise on your head hasn't been treated properly. You'd best cover it.
That's odd.
What is?
I'm so faint all of a sudden. So weak. It's almost as if I were...
As if you were what?
As if I suddenly got drunk, right? Or something else. I've never felt like this before.
Yes?
The wine. You devil. You drugged me. You drugged me, didn't you? You drugged me.
I was forced to, my young friend. You're a very sick man, and a sick man doesn't belong in jail. He belongs in a comfortable accommodation where he can sleep and rest and regain his composure, his rationale. Rest, Mr. Corrigan. I'll be back soon.
Please, you've got to believe me. Lincoln's going to be shot tonight.
And that's extremely odd, because perhaps I'm beginning to believe you. Good night, Mr. Corrigan. Rest well.
No! No! Please. Let me out of this room. It's true. All of it. I know that the President of the United States is going to be assassinated tonight.
Stand aside.
There's no need to break it down, officer. I have an extra key. Oh, good Lord!
Are you all right, sir? What's happened here?
What time is it? You've got to tell me the time.
It's 10:35. Come on, Corrigan. Tell me what you know. You may be a madman or a drunk.
I'm neither.
But you convinced me. I've been everywhere from the mayor's office to the police commissioner's home, trying to get a special guard for the president.
And do they agree?
Not one.
Then go yourself.
But I don't have the authority.
Find out where he's sitting and get right up alongside him. That's the way it happened. Shot from behind. And then the assassin jumps from the box to the stage, and he runs out of the wings.
You're telling me this as if it has already happened.
It has happened. It happened 100 years ago, and I've come back here to see that it doesn't happen this time. Where's the man who brought me here? Where's Wellington?
Wellington? There's no one here by that name.
You're mistaken.
Well, I'm the chambermaid, and if he lived here, I'd know about it.
Tell me there's no one here by that name. He brought me in here. He lives in this room. Look, this is the handkerchief he gave me.
Let me see that.
No Wellington, I'm positive.
I tell you, his name was...
See for yourself. The initials on the handkerchief.
JWB.
That's right. Mr. John Wilkes Booth lives in this room, and that's what brought you here.
Booth? He said his name was Wellington. That's why he drugged me.
Drugged, sir?
He gave me wine and drugged me. He didn't want me to stop him. He's the one who's going to do it.
Surely not, sir. Not Mr. Booth.
Listen, officer, you've got to get to that theater. You've got to stop him. John Wilkes Booth. He's going to kill Lincoln. Will you leave here at once and stop him? Will you, please?
Wait, what's that outside?
The president's been shot.
President Lincoln's been assassinated.
Lincoln is dying.
Oh, saints, preserve us.
Oh, dear God. You were right. You did know. Oh, my dear God.
I tried to tell you! I tried to warn you! And one most important thing I've ever tried to do in my life. God, I failed. I failed. Why didn't anybody listen? Why? Why didn't anyone listen to me?
Good evening, Mr. Corrigan. Did you forget something, sir?
What? Forget something?
You just left a moment ago, sir. I thought you forgot something.
A moment ago?
Yes, sir.
Where's William?
William, sir? There's no attendant named William here.
And this is the Potomac Club?
Of course it is, sir. The oldest club in Washington, as you well know.
I want to go back to the card room.
By all means.
Well, invest in new technology all you like, but I stand by a traditional portfolio.
Nonsense. The digital revolution has rendered the old methods obsolete.
As am I, gentlemen, and yet I keep on ticking.
Diversifying is the key. Muni bonds, long-term certificates, real estate holdings.
Ah, back so soon, Pete.
Couldn't stay away.
Come on over and join this bull session. It has to do with the best ways of amassing a fortune. What are your tried and true methods?
We were talking about time travel, about going back in time.
Oh, that's old hat. We're on a new tack now. Money, and the best ways to acquire it.
Listen, all of you. I want to tell you something.
Of course, old man. Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm all right.
Then sit down and listen to a lot of palaver from some self-made swindlers.
Who's the fourth man?
Why, I think you know him. You most certainly do. Turn around so Corrigan here can see you.
Hello, Peter.
William? Is that you?
William here has the best method of all.
Oh, yes. My method for achieving security is by far the best, with an absolute minimum of risk. None at all, in fact. You simply inherit it. It comes to you in a be-ribboned box.
William, those clothes, you look like...
Yes?
A rich man. You, a very rich man.
Well, that's because I am, of course.
But how?
I was telling the boys, Corrigan, my great-great-great-grandfather was on the police force here in Washington on the night of Lincoln's assassination. He went all over town trying to warn people that something dire might happen.
He was a patrolman?
A lowly officer of the law.
Yes, of course, and he looked a bit like you.
Well, there is one surviving photograph. A slight resemblance, perhaps. In any event, exactly how he figured out that the president would be shot, nobody seems to know. The explanation, if there is one, is certainly not a matter of record, but because there was so much surrounding publicity, people never forgot him. He became a police chief, then a councilman, did some wheeling and dealing in land, and became a millionaire. And after that, well, the family fortune only grew. Now then, what do you say we get back to our bridge, gentlemen?
Corrigan was going to tell us something.
Well, what was it you wanted to say?
William, you don't work here as an attendant?
Fancy that.
Not ever. And didn't you spill coffee on me?
Spill it? Where?
On my jacket. Here.
But there's no spot on your jacket.
You're right, there's not.
Listen, old chum, I was a member of this club while you were still going to prep school. I'm certainly not a snob, but, well, sir, an attendant? I really must protest.
Your cards, gentlemen.
In the matter of time travel...
Not a very fruitful subject.
I just wanted to say that I've made a discovery. Some things can be changed, and others can't. The most important ones, the ones that alter the world too profoundly. It must be that such matters are in hands greater than ours, because otherwise the present couldn't exist. Not in any form that we might recognize or even be a part of.
Just as you say, Pete. I bid one spade.
Excuse me, gentlemen, I must get back home.
Of course. Till next time.
Take care, boy. I bid 2 hearts.
Strange mood he's in tonight.
Looks piquant, doesn't he?
A bit. I wonder what's the matter with him.
Gentlemen, I'm sure it has nothing to do with us. Now, let's get down to business. The bid?
Good night, Mr. Corrigan.
Wait.
Yes, sir?
How long have you worked here?
At the Potomac. It's been 17 years now.
And when I left the first time a few minutes ago, you remember that?
Certainly.
You were the attendant who saw me out.
Why, yes, sir.
I see.
Will there be anything else?
I guess not. Well, good night, then.
Need a cab, mister?
What? Oh, no. I'm afraid I'll have to find my own way home tonight.
Whatever you say, Mac.
Mr. Peter Corrigan lately returned from a place known only as Back There, a journey into time with highly questionable results, proving on the one hand that the threads of history are woven tightly and that the skein of events cannot be undone, and on the other hand that there may be small fragments of the tapestry that can be altered, however unpredictable the final result. Our thesis to be taken as you will in the Twilight Zone.